le ciel bleu vole en silence.
Okay, nothing on this earth lasts forever, ladies. Like, nothing lasts forever. And there's no such thing as a truly timeless piece. I wish there was. I wish there was. I can maybe name one or two items that are really timeless that are hanging in all of our wardrobes. But for the most part, things do date eventually. And so in today's video, I'm going to break down 10 timeless pieces that aren't really timeless. 10 timeless pieces that might be making you look a little bit dated or a little bit out of style. So welcome if you're new here. My name is Netta. I'm a personal stylist. My whole focus is to help you build a wardrobe that you love because I want you to look beautiful. I want you to feel confident and stylish every single day. So I have outfit guides coming up. I have wardrobe planners, capsule wardrobe planners coming up. I have how to dress for your body guides coming up. Lots and lots of cool things coming up on this channel. So watch this space. I'm going to have a lot of announcements coming up in the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, I do have my summer masterclass series. It is every other week. You are not going to want to miss it. It's absolutely free. And we're really breaking down the art and science of creating outfits together this summer. So definitely comment masterclass or just check the description box or the pinned comment for the link to join the free masterclass series. Okay, I have a lot to cover today. I'm going to cover 10 timeless pieces that are not really timeless. These are things that just come up again and again, and every time they come up, I'm like, there's a better option than that. There's a more elevated option than that. There's a more interesting, a more modern, a more elevated version of that piece. And if you just make these small swaps, you're going to find that a lot of your outfits look instantly better. Okay, so let's get into it. The first piece I want to talk about is the khaki pant, the khaki chino. These are man pants. These are man pants masquerading as women pants. These are man pants. Like they truly, I do not know anybody who looks good in a very like simple, basic, boxy, beige chino. Not a single woman that would not look better in a more elevated version of the same style. I'm not saying that you can't wear beige, even though I'm jealous of those of you who have the ability to wear beige, you beige ladies out there who look amazing in beige. I'm a little jealous, but these are not your friend. These beige pants are not your friend. There's so many more elegant and elevated versions of a beige pant. So I'm gonna show you a couple of man pants, like very basic, very boring. These are like the Levi's, are they Dockers? Is that what they call them? Is that the word? Yeah, like, it's the very basic. Land's End has these, Levi's has these. Pretty much every brand has these very basic pants in this light beige. It's not even really a color. It's definitely not a color that signals richness or elegance. So the first way that you could upgrade these pants is to go a little bit richer in the color. So a little darker in the color, a little more intentional with the color, and not like this blah, go with everything but uplift nothing type of color. So that's the first way you're going to elevate it. The second way you're going to elevate the beige pants is through fit, through scale, through details. So if you want to continue to wear a beige pant, you want to make sure that your beige pants look a little bit more like the ones that I'm showing here. They need to be a little bit more tailored. Maybe they're going to have pleats. Maybe they're going to have a wide leg. Maybe they're going to be an elevated fabric like a wool crepe. Maybe they're going to be like a sleek kind of scuba knit. Maybe they're going to be faux leather or real leather. But it's going to be the fabric, the color, the fit, the silhouette. Those are the details that you need to look at, elevating to take the beige pant from blah and vanilla and a man pant to a much more elevated and interesting and versatile piece in your wardrobe. So the thing is, when you wear a dated basic with a dated basic, you're going to have a very dated outfit, but you're also going to have a very blah, lackluster, personality-less outfit. So I'm going to pop up a couple of good versions of these beige pants here so you can see what an elevated beige pant looks like. And then of course in the catalog, I'm going to have some stylish versions of beige pants for all of you to check out. So it's not about foregoing the beige pant, it's about skipping the very pale beige, boxy, stiff, structured man pant chino thing that every brand pretty much has a version of. These are awful. Okay, moving on. The next thing I want to talk about is the long open cardigan. This is hard. This is hard because these are cozy, and I feel like these need to be cozy clothes rather than cute clothes. So there's nothing wrong with having a long, and I have a cashmere cream boyfriend cardigan from Quince. It's a cozy piece. It's not a piece that I style into like cute outfits that I wear out and about. It's not that type of piece. So it's just kind of making that distinction between really putting these in an at-home or athleisure category rather than an outfit category. So especially in colors like oatmeal and heather gray, like colors that are just like, they're a little water, they're just like somewhere in that no man's land. So instead of like one of these cardigans, and I'm gonna just share a couple of my least favorite ones with you. The first least favorite style is the really drapey, thin, like jersey cardigans. These do nothing for nobody. Not only do they not add warmth, they don't add structure, they don't add style, they're out of style, they're all the things. So you definitely want to skip these. And then you want to skip the really chunky ones that are basic and boring, and have these, especially the ones with the rounded hems. Those are very, very much out of style. So if you have these need to become like a version of a robe, something to wear at home, something to wear with athleisure, something to wear very, very casually. But if you want to elevate your cardigan game, let me show you a couple that are going to look so much better. The first way to do this is to choose a cropped style cardigan. So a cardigan that hits at the waist or even at the high hip is going to be much more modern and much more elevated. So I'm going to pop up a couple here. These are worn easily as tops as well as layering pieces, so they are very, very versatile and great for those of you who travel. Like, you can take them and they serve both purposes, right? So I'm going to pop up a couple. They're a little slouchier, a little bit shorter, and this is the more modern cardigan. We're not really, again, seeing that long cardigan, that long, like, loose, baggy cardigan worn as a fashion piece right now. Another way to elevate your cardigan game is to find a structured sweater jacket kind of thing. This one is from Avec les Filles, I believe, but this is kind of like a little cropped blazer, but it's in a sweater knit. So it's just a great way of taking your cardigan to the next level, and what it will do is instantly add polish to any basic outfit. So whereas the sloppy cardigans I was talking about really drag down your outfits, these will really elevate your outfits. Okay. Next, moving right along, we're going to talk about the walking sneakers, the orthopedic style sneakers. You know what I'm talking about. These are very, very boxy. They are glaringly white, and they are very, very chunky, and there's just no nod to style. And I really think that they're doing us a disservice when they offer us these shoes, because they know that we deserve comfort and style. We deserve comfort and style. There's no reason to choose. And you can find way better options than these orthopedic-y looking things. First of all, what is this? What is this monstrosity of, what is that? Is that a sandal Mary Jane sneaker hybrid that is just a disaster in olive green? That is horrific. That is horrific. What about this beigey cement block that can sit on the ends of your legs? That's also just absolutely awful. What about this gargantuan oversized white sneaker? What in the world? What in the world? So I just want to show you that if you have fit issues or foot issues, which 95% of you do, there are orthopedic sneakers that look a lot better than these orthopedic sneakers. So I want you to find options that are stylish and comfortable. So I love this pair. This is an orthopedic sneaker. I cannot remember this exact name. All of these are going to be in my catalog below. The Winnie sneaker from Vionic, it's a great option. It's an orthopedic sneaker. The all-day sneakers from Vivaya, I have been wearing and loving these. They call them all-day sneakers for a reason. They are really, really comfortable. So there are so many better options. If you're looking at a chunky orthopedic sneaker, there are so many better options than a stark white or just a dated, blah looking version that doesn't do anything for your outfits. Fortunately, they have come a long way, and an orthopedic sneaker doesn't need to scream orthopedic, right? Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, this is going to be a little controversial. It's the black sheath dress, but it's this specific style of dress. This was what everybody wore to work like 10, 15 years ago. It's a high neck, sleeveless simple sheath that ends right above, right in the middle of the knee. Right above the knee or right in the middle of the knee. It is fitted. It is usually ponte knit. Again, it is sleeveless, usually has a higher neck, and it's very basic and very simple. Very basic and very simple. This dress, I don't know if you guys like look around at the black dresses that are out in style right now. They do not look anything like this. This is not a classic dress. It's not a timeless dress. It is now fully a dated style dress. So it's just so basic. And again, it can be simple without being dated. This is simple and dated. And so that's kind of the killer, because if you have a simple piece, you can pile on cool accessories and it's gonna look great, right? Not so with this one, not so. No matter what you do accessory wise, it's still gonna look, it's gonna look ho-hum. It's gonna look humdrum. It's gonna look like you're just not paying attention to what's going on in style. So I'm popping up a couple of these dresses to avoid here. Everybody had them, They are very basic, and they're also very out of style. So instead, I'm gonna pop up a couple of more elevated versions. Now, the more elevated versions, like this one, has a really cool silhouette and a boat neck, and then it's got a slightly longer length that is definitely a little bit more modern. I also love the square neck style. I think that's beautiful. This long sleeved style is also beautiful. I love this short sleeved style from I think this one's from Dion von Furstenberg. That's stunning. This other one with kind of like a cool sleeve that comes off like that and a little bit of ruching in the front. That's beautiful. So there are a lot of more modern versions of this basic black sheath. They are every bit as versatile, but a lot more updated. Okay, so really, I think like the J. Crew resume dress, everybody has it. Everybody has that dress, and it's not cute. Okay, the next thing that we think is timeless but is not is a pair of bootcut jeans with contrast stitching. First of all, if I hear one more person say bootcut jeans are flattering on everybody, my head might explode. Bootcut jeans are not flattering on everybody. They are flattering on primarily hourglass body types, because the shape of the jean echoes the shape of the body type. So bootcut jeans are my best friend, but they may or may not be your best friend. If you've got a little bit more shape in the lower half of your body, you may find that bootcut jeans actually amplify that. So it's your call, but bootcut jeans are not as universally flattering as they are often touted to be. So so that's the first thing. Bootcut jeans we're definitely seeing them, but they do not look like the bootcut jeans we saw 10, 15 years ago with the really thick fabric, the really thick like pockets. They're trying to give like youthful country star, but they really look more like 2006 middle schooler. Like, they're just very much out of date. Most of the time they have a low rise, they have embroidered pockets, they have thick seams and the thick stitching. All of these details are very outdated. So instead, go for a straight leg, a simple boot cut, a cropped flare, a clean wide leg in a uniform dark wash. No contrast stitching. Is this going to come back? For sure it's going to come back, but it's not in style now. And the bootcut jeans that are in style right now are a lot more modified and a lot sleeker, a lot cleaner. I'm going to pop up a couple of my favorites here. One of them includes the Page Laurel Canyon jeans. These are my personal holy grail bootcut jean. I love these. And then there's another a pair from Mother. I think these are the Weekender. These are great options for bootcut jeans. And I'm not saying discount bootcut jeans entirely, but I'm saying they're not for everybody, and you don't want that contrast stitching. Okay, next, this is another piece that everybody thinks is timeless. It's a black blazer. Details date, and if you want the most classic blazer, you're going to invest in a blazer. You want a blazer that is middle of the road, and I think you're going to see this in across the board in all of these pieces. Anything that's really tight or really oversized is going to get dated more quickly. So a truly classic blazer is going to be one that's tailored without being tight, and it's not going to have any details on it that don't absolutely need to be there. So the blazers from 10 years ago that were snug and had the cinched sleeves are out of style and have been out of style for a long time. So if you still have a fitted black or navy blazer with the cinched sleeves, it is time to let it go. Instead, consider upgrading to a more classic tailored middle of the road blazer. Again, you don't want to go oversized because that will date too soon. You want it to be right there in the middle of the road. So these snug black, these blazers have the dated lapels. They often have that like sheen that comes to them over time, that polyester sheen. Instead, you want to find a modern, cool blazer. I'm going to pop up some examples here of blazers that are truly as timeless as we're going to get in 2025. Trends cycle very quickly right now. They cycle very quickly right now. So timeless now is a 5 to 10 year window. It's not a 30-year window anymore. And you know, I alluded to the only timeless piece that I think is really timeless in the intro, and I really think that a trench coat is one of the few truly timeless pieces that we can buy. Everything else goes in and out of style. Okay, so that was the snug black blazer. Now let's move on to block-heeled pumps, especially block-heeled pumps with a round toe. I hate saying this as much as you hate hearing it, because we all did block-heeled pumps for a really long time. If you're going to do a block-heeled pump, the rest of the pump needs to be elevated and it needs to be modern. So I'm going to show you some examples. So the worst offender in this category is the block-heeled pump with a round toe. This is not okay. This is not your friend. I'm going to pop up a couple here. These are like the most matronly of the matronly looking shoes. These are just not good, especially if they're just black leather or beige leather or bone leather, especially if they call the leather bone and not a fun name like cafe or whatever. You know, if you're on a site and they call the color bone, you know, immediately click that little X in the corner. You need to leave that site immediately. So these are round toe, they're basic leather and a basic neutral color, right? So next step up from this is to go maybe with a little bit more of an almond toe. That's going to give it a much more modern look if you don't want to skip the block heels entirely. A block-heeled slingback is still very much happening. So a slingback can be a great way to continue to wear your block heels and have them look more modern. Even if they've got a rounder toe, a block-heeled slingback. So you're elevating a detail to take these shoes from being really dated, block heel, round toe, basic leather, to more modern, block heel, slingback, or block heel, almond toe. Now, next step up, of course, from that is to go with a more slender heel. So that is the heel that's kind of happening right now. It's the kitten heel. It's a little pointier heel, or even a wedge heel. If you want to go for something that is a little bit more lawn friendly, a wedge heel is going to be a more modern option right now than these block-heeled sandals and block-heeled pumps. We've seen these block heels for the last 10 years, and they are definitely on their way out, if not completely out already. Okay, next we're going to talk about silk scarves worn in overly classic ways. I'm just gonna say a scarf is absolutely one of the key trends right now. Silk scarves are super, super, super trendy. And so there's never been a better time to wear a silk scarf and still have it look modern than right now. I just saw a headline that said, are silk scarves replacing belts? And they're not just talking about the classic version where you roll up the silk scarf and tie it around your waist. They're actually, you know, turning them into like a triangle and then wrapping them around the waist. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. But there are ways to wear silk scarves where they still look dated. And so again, this is the season. Bring out your silk scarves, wear them, enjoy them. But there is a way to do it so that it looks modern. One of the ways to do it so that it looks modern is to not tie the silk scarf in exactly with all the colors in your outfit. Another way is to throw it on in a more nonchalant looking way and not a really, really fussy looking way. So I'm going to show you some examples of silk scarves styled well and silk scarves styled badly. So this pink suit with the silk scarf thing happening here, that's a lot of stuff happening in that outfit. I feel like this does not look modern. It does not look balanced. Now, I'm going to show you some examples of scarves worn well. So, you know, the little little necktie kind of thing. It's not an ascot, whatever they call it. The little necktie like that. Love that look. Love this triangle effect of the scarf worn kind of as a belt, kind of to add interest to an outfit. Very excited to try that look. Love this scarf draped over just kind of one shoulder like that. And then love, you know, this first picture, the scarf is worn in a very classic way over her shoulders, but she is wearing it over something very simple like a white button down top. So I feel like that takes this otherwise kind of very classic scarf tying technique or whatever, the way to wear a scarf, and makes it look more modern. And then this last one, this is a look from Kate Spade. I love the way this is very French to me when it's looped around the neck a couple of times like this. It's also a really great way to minimize, the attention at the neck area. So we gotta love that. Okay, so silk scarves, absolutely happening right now, and they are timeless, but the different ways to style them go in and out of style. And right now, the very classic ways to style it are looking dated. Okay, let's move on to the next category. Okay, this is the tight denim jacket. The tight denim jacket. Denim jackets are not tight. They have not been tight for a long time. There, I said it. They're not tight. They're not tight. They can be cropped because that makes it easier to wear, especially on those of us who are short and those of us who like things like, does it look flattering on me? Does it make me look like I'm wearing my husband's trucker jacket? Whatever, like that kind of thing. Does it look flattering? So if you want it to be more flattering, go cropped, but still go boxy. Denim jackets are not tight, right? They don't look like this anymore. These are very dated, and they very much look like we stopped looking at denim jackets in 2017. Like they are 100% out of style. These are stiff, they're faded, they often, just a little bit too snug. They're hard to layer because the arms tend to be really fitted on these. Especially if you're rolling the cuffs of your denim jacket up. You know how I feel about rolling cuffs up. I love that. I love that for you, and I love it for me. But I don't love it done where you're like making it too fussy with the denim jacket. You know what I mean? So it cannot be tight. It really needs to be a little bit oversized. It needs to be a little bit longer, and it needs to be simple and like cool. So I'm going to pop up what a good denim jacket looks like here. This is the denim jacket we're all wearing, minus from Quince. Everyone has a version. Like Levi's has the trucker jacket. Like we're looking for that more modern silhouette for a denim jacket. Okay, next and last is the pair of black round toe flats. This is along the same lines as the pair of black round toe pumps, but these are like, they look worn down at the heels. They look like they've seen better days. These are so boring and so basic and also dated. So again, I sometimes put basic and dated together, but they're not the same thing. Basic is simple, dated is out of style. And these are simple, but also out of style. So these are just very, very schleppy on. They're not at all flattering to the leg line. They make your legs look shorter. They often have like no distinguishable heel, and I don't mean heel as in height, I mean heel as in sole. And they just really look worn down really easily, and are just out of style. So these round toe ballet flats or flats have been out of style for a long time. Instead, consider replacing them with one of the new elevated flats. I love the mesh flats. I love the studded flats. I love the Mary Jane flats. I'm going to pop up a bunch of fabulous options here for you. I love a little sling back flat. And even just a sleek, simple ballet flat like this pair here from, I think these are from Margot, just a sleek, simple ballet flat is fabulous. Maybe it's just a simple black ballet flat, but it's got an almond toe instead of that round toe. That's going to be so much better. It's going to easily and instantly update all of your outfits. The thing is, many of these pieces, the denim jacket, the cardigan, the flats, many of these pieces are basic, staple, essential pieces in many of our wardrobes, and we can put these pieces into outfits and then wonder why the outfits don't look good. The reason the outfits don't look good is because the pieces themselves don't look good anymore. They are dated, and they are often not flattering. So if we update these pieces, we tweak these essential go-to pieces, everything else will fall into place. Our outfits will suddenly magically come together and look a lot more modern. So often if you're putting on a lot of outfits that are like just you're not feeling them, they're just not coming together well, ask yourself, are my basics, my timeless, my essential pieces really essential, or could they use an update? And chances are they could use an update, and just that one update is enough to transform your entire look and maybe even your entire wardrobe. So I have plenty more of these. These were the first 10 that I came up with. If you want 10 more timeless pieces that aren't really timeless, let me know in the comments. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe so we can hang out some more. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.